Hello and welcome to the channel. What I want to have a look at with you today is passwords and multi-factor authentication. You probably already know that in the past few years, the threat landscape in IT has gone through the roof. Where once you were a network manager, say, of a school, not really worrying about the wider world, suddenly you've got nation-state actors trying to get into your systems. So what we're doing today is just having a look at different types of password and the importance of MFA to really secure things in. So what I'm doing as a demo, got here password strength testing tool at Bitwarden. I will drop a link to this in the description of the video, but just to show you what I'm talking about, we're not just looking at dictionary attacks these days. With modern GPUs, they can try literally tens of billions of password combinations a second. A modern algorithm on your password will slow them down, but ultimately a GPU doesn't care whether it's looking for a lowercase a or whether it's looking for a percentage. It's just looking for characters. So dictionary attacks, as they're going out the window these days, we're looking at length over complexity for our passwords. So to demonstrate that a little bit, I'm going to type in, of all things, an Italian football team. Now you might have noticed the password strength bar there. As soon as I put the A on the end and I made it into a real word, Fiorentina, not very good, 1 second. If I drop that A off again, it's not a real word anymore. We're up to 2 hours. So that goes to show that dictionary attacks, they are still very much a part of your rules out there, even though we now go for length over complexity. To demonstrate this again, castle, a very simple password, a very bad password. But even still, if I reduce it to 5 characters, so it's not a real word, it's a little bit more secure. Not much, but a little bit. If we go the other way, here's one I prepared earlier. If we pop this in here, that's a really strong password. That takes centuries to crack. But think about it. You get to work in the morning, you walk in, you turn the coffee machine on, you sit at your desk, you come to log in. Are you going to remember this and type this in every day? Are you going to remember this and type this in every time you lock your machine to go off for a walk to do a job? And if you're going to do that, are your users on your network going to do that? They're not. They're just going to write it down and stick a post-it note to the monitor and probably complain that you gave them such a hard password to remember. And who can blame them with that? So we need a good middle ground. And the best middle ground is a passphrase rather than a password, because that's giving you length. It's giving you some measure of complexity. But most importantly, it's giving people something they can remember and just naturally type in. So coming back to our castle theme, if we type in a man's castle, suddenly we're up to 17 days to crack. It's something a user can remember. And also, if they do choose to lose the E on the end, all of a sudden that's really quite a secure password. But maybe they will add the E, but then put, I don't know, a $sign on the end. A man's castles. It doesn't quite matter so long as they are branching into the territory of good, strong password. And this, someone can walk in the morning and just type that in. You can go off for your walk during the day and just type that in. Now, in the case of passwords like this one that I demonstrated here, these very much have their place because you have things like your Windows administrator password or your password to get into your antivirus management, anything like that. So passwords like this you want. But passwords like that, you're going to keep in a password manager, something like KeePass or Zoho. And from there, you've typed them in once, and all you're doing is you're going into your KeyPass, go into your Zoho, and you just copy the password out and then copy it into your box. Obviously, you will protect those tools with a very, very not complicated but long password. So a man's castle dollar stands. So that might be your password to get into your KeyPass tool or your Zoho tool. It's something that you can still remember. It's something that you don't have to write down, but it's still something that is very, very secure if the wrong people are having a look at your software, because there's always that little twerp out there somewhere who wants to hack your system. All of that chat brings us very nicely onto MFA, or multi-factor authentication. Now, this is a lovely little tool, and it's 99% of your security if you use it properly. It is very simply a password is a password. You type it in, it's secure, as you can see with the one on your screen. But if you've got MFA involved, MFA only allows someone one stab at your password or one stab at your user's password, and then it's sending a notification. It's sending a text message or a message to an authenticator tool or anything like that. MFA is your true key to keeping people out of your network. Now, you may get a little bit of kickback from your users. A lot of people think it's hassle, but like anything else in this life, it becomes normal. And the obvious answer to your user is to say, would you like your bank not to use MFA? They soon understand that it's important for your network. The only thing to caution users against is MFA fatigue. There have been instances out there where people trying to hack accounts, they've come along, worked out a geographical location of a user, and they have just spammed that user with MFA requests in the middle of the night, so 3 a.m. their time. Of course, people are trying to sleep. People don't want that. So what happens, and daft as it sounds, this is a thing, people just assume the technology's gone wrong and they just click approve and say, yes, go away. I don't want you to be bothering me in the middle of the night. Well, of course, little hacker boy, well, he's happy. He's just been given access. So there's always user training that goes with these things. And when your user training happens, that is one of the great big cautions that you need to make them aware of. So I think I'm going to leave that there for today, because I can't think of anything else, and you're probably getting bored of me because I'm starting to bore myself. So on that, I will say thank you very much for listening, and I will see you next time.